So this week is a little bit different. There was something that I wrote down today while I was at church, and I believe that it's a word of encouragement for somebody who is going to watch this video. I don't know how many people will see it. If it's only one, then this word of encouragement is for that one person, because I think that oftentimes in our lives, and especially in today's world with media and social media the way that it is, we see what we call overnight sensations. And we see people who go quote unquote viral overnight. And we begin to crave, for lack of other words, the virality or the immediate success that we sometimes see in other people's lives. But the quote that I want to share with you, the thought that came to my mind today is that stewardship precedes suddenly. I think we crave the suddenly so much that we fail to steward the seeds that we've been given. I think that God has placed something unique inside of each and every one of us. And if we would steward that seed correctly, we will all walk into a season of suddenly. And stewardship is defined as adding value to something that has been placed into your care. And even deeper than that, it's adding value to something that has been entrusted into your care. I believe that we have all been giving something. It doesn't matter what socioeconomic status we are. It doesn't matter what our background is. We've all been giving a seed of something. And it's our responsibility to add value to that. And what adding value to that looks like is it's developing the character to be able to handle the thing that's been given to us. But it's also developing the competency so that we can continue to grow and develop that thing. And that looks like growing in our knowledge, which most of us don't want to grow in knowledge, because the first step in growing in knowledge is admitting ignorance in some area. And in some area of your life, in your life, my life, all of our lives, we've been misinformed or uninformed. And that's what ignorance is. So if we want to grow in competency, we have to admit the areas where we've been misinformed and uninformed. We have to grow in knowledge. We have to begin to comprehend that facts and information that come from the knowledge, which is understanding. And then we have to be able to apply all of it, which is wisdom. So what stewardship looks like is developing character and then growing in competency. I think the other thing that stewardship looks like is diligence. And the best definition I've ever heard for diligence is doing a little thing for a long time until you get great results. The reason why I said character and competency before diligence is because you can do a little thing for a long time, but you could be doing the wrong thing. So you want to be doing the right thing, even if it's small, for a long time. And at one point and at some point, it will reward you with great results. So, it's easy to want to be an overnight sensation. But like I said, I think stewardship precedes suddenly. And there are some areas in our lives where, sometimes we just need a miracle and we've done all that we can. And that's when God steps in and does it suddenly. But I think in the vast majority of the cases, he's waiting on our participation. He's waiting on us to add value to the thing that he's entrusted into our care. And then we walk into that season of suddenly. And I'm actually reminded now of a conversation that I was having with my creative director, Chance Mitchell, who's also my videographer. He handles all the content that we're doing on social media right now, because we were just discussing the direction that my company, Living Habitually, was going to go in, and what is our branding model and what is our branding strategy and all these things. And he sent me some videos on Instagram of some of the ways that he wanted to shoot some things and some of the content that he thought was would be good for me to start to present to you all. And over the course of 48 hours, the gentleman whose page he sent me went from, I think it was like 15,000 followers to 200,000 followers, literally in the time that we began to look at his page and study his content and see how specifically the cinematography that he was using. And oftentimes, you know, if you just step into that picture at that time and you see somebody go from 15,000 to 200,000, you think it was an overnight success, and you see the suddenly. But the thing that you didn't see is the hundreds of videos that he posted before then. Some of them with five likes, some with 10, some with 20. But you know, he'd been doing this for years, and then he walked into his season of suddenly. Why? The thing, like, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but the thing that stewardship and diligence have in common is consistency. And that's why doing a little thing for a long time will always lend itself to great results. And I think you have to practice self-reflection and see what's been placed into your care and add value to that. And I think that when you do that, you will find yourself walking into seasons of suddenly.